Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it is going to be a Patreon match between Classic and Reynor here on Data C. Bottom left, if it's going to be Reynor, top rightish, it's going to be Classic. Haven't cast a game between these two players in a while. Classic is an excellent Protoss player. Reynor is one of the top players in all of the world. Let's check the Oligulac standings before I say where Reynor is on it. Let's see, Oligulac. Yep, Google, you know what I'm searching for, that's for sure. Hatch block? Hatch block timing? Hatch block timing? Reynor says, come on, you're a little bit too... not too late, not too late. He made another drone. You could have gone 16 hatch, but 17 hatch... it is. Oh, wait. 16, 18, 17. What? That was weird, man. All right, so Cyril's at the top, Maru, and then Reynor. Reynor is the third place. But, you know, anything can happen at this top level of StarCraft 2. So, pro-harassing stuff, no big deal. All is well here in Zergville, as well as it ever is going to be in the early stages of a PvZ, because that probe's going to be annoying until there's a queen out, until there are lings out. You really can't kill it if it's in the hands of somebody like Classic here. Yeah. Anyway, this is a Patreon game. For those of you who support me at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $1 a month, thank you for supporting me out there. I love you all very, very much. If you're watching this, like the last week of 2022 in the December, appreciate it. If you're watching this in 2023, it is the future. Los futuros. Man, I don't know if that's true. I'm just making up Spanish in my head. Anyway, and if you're watching this in 2023, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I'm here, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes more, with StarCraft 2 content, so check it out, man. Yeah, Los Futuros sounds legitimate. I don't know, but I've been watching a lot of Money Heist on Netflix, which is a pretty darn well put together TV show. It's got kind of like 3 seasons to it. It's like the first season's 12 or 13 episodes, then the second season's kind of split in half, and each one of those is 8 episodes. I don't know exactly how it's structured, but season 1 I thought it was great, and then they did season 2, and I'm like, well, it's kind of samey compared to season 1 in a lot of ways. I don't know, man. But season 2's been entertaining, and I really can't ask for more than that. But it's set in Spain, España. And so they're speaking Spanish, and I'm watching with subtitles because I do like subs over dubs. But anyway, point is, my brain is trying to like translate things into Spanish without me really asking it to. You just really just gonna let these lings in? Okay, that's cool. I mean, oh, it's an oracle, neat. Like, not too much of a surprise here. We're going to see hero style attempted by Classic with, you know, 5, 6 oracles in conjunction with zealots and stalkers. This adept shows up, and where's the lings? This queen takes 87 hits to kill an adept. What? Oh, this is bad. This is Reynor. Then these lings get stuck? Reynor, what are you even doing? Okay, so the adept died. I'm sure that's neat. One drone went down, so not really a great trade. Honestly, Oracle is out. And the Oracle's name, I do have an Oracle name ready to go here. Give me just a second as I pull it up. It is Stropyro. I have no idea what that means. Pyro, you know, the root there is fire, so something like fire. And laser beams are kind of like fire, right? So sure, absolutely. Oh, then dies. I don't know. Classic is not playing this incredibly well to start off, I would argue. Losing the Adept after killing a single drone, sure, there was lost mining time. And then losing the first Oracle to Queens is just like, that should not happen. And then making more Oracles and just really wishing you had another Oracle to add to this one, who doesn't even have a name because it's the second Oracle. How sad. So very sad. Oh my gosh. Do not die in the exact same way. Do not die in the exact same way, in the exact same location. Okay. Excellent. There's nothing at the third base to kill, but also nothing to defend, then nothing to kill, which makes sense from Reynor's perspective. The Oracle just gets out of there. All right, man. At least at the third base on the way here from Classic, he stopped making Oracles. So this is probably not going to be hero style, which is, you know, I don't know. Have we seen Reynor die to hero style? Maybe we have. Maybe there has been a game that I've missed where he died to it. It is really good. It is really good against some really good enemy Zerg opponents. So I would try it against Reynor if I was playing against Reynor now as Protoss. I would just make a bunch of oracles and get some charge lots and some stalkers and go. And then I would lose terribly, but you know, I'd look cool. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Hero style, baby. That's what we're here for. Yeah, charges on the way. Templar Archives coming in too. These Adepts are probably going to not finish their shade. Oh, never mind. Okay. Like, well, if you don't have any Banelings or Roaches or anything, sure. We'll sit back here and kill a bunch of your Lings for nothing. That sounds great. By that, I mean one of these Adepts is dead. And then the shade into the main base finishes too. I don't know, man. This is just a handful of drones dying for a lot of Adepts. Okay, this is not a great opening. I'm just going to say this is 8 drones dead for 5 Adepts. The math does not add up. Not in any way that makes sense. At least charges on the way. That's good. Storm. That's what I meant to say with Storm. A Robotics Bay. Maybe getting all of the splash damage known to humankind here. Don't ya know. Lings jumping in. Brat, brat, brat. And, okay. Oh, that Zealot really should be dead. How many more Lings would have had to die to kill that Zealot? I don't know, like 2? Maybe 3? It's bruised up, though, and it's taking up supply. So maybe that's a 4D chess play from Reynor, where he's like, if I kill the Zealot, it will be replaced with a full health, full shield Zealot. But this one will never get back up to 100% of its HP. So yeah, I'm casting this on the 17th of December. I went and saw Violent Night with my sister and her wife. We've just been doing some movie watching. You may have noticed me talking about that, but okay, a full surround on an Archon is bad for the Archon. It's good against Lings, not in that situation. Anything getting full surrounded is terrible for the thing getting full surrounded by Lings. It always is. But yeah, it's got David Harbour in it, who is Sheriff Hopper in The Stranger Things. You probably know him. He's great. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but my goodness, I laughed. I had some emotional moments. It was incredibly entertaining. And as the title would imply, incredibly violent. So yeah, I could recommend Violent Night for sure. Check it out, man. Good stuff. Like I recommended The Menu. Did anybody actually see The Menu after I recommended it last month? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe Falcon's Movie Corner is not going as well as he wants it to. Doesn't matter. Like, I'm not getting paid by these people, so it doesn't really matter if you see it or not. I'm just curious. That is a fleet beacon. Okay, Classic says, you know how to kill Zerg players? Sky Toss. With High Templar and Archons and Immortals, but also Sky Toss. Reynor says, you've been harassing me, but you haven't really caused me major problems yet. I appreciate that. But it really gives Reynor a better chance to survive against the incoming really difficult strategy that is on its way very, very soon. Centrifugal hooks, we're going for damn Hydras. I'm sure you guys have seen videos and stuff talking about the new potential patch that's in the PTR. By the time some of you see this, the patch might be live in whatever form it decided to be live in, right? Because, I don't know, it's a huge overhaul of a lot of stuff on all 3 races. So usually when that is proposed, not every one of those changes makes it into the final thing, into the final patch. +2 attack. This is a +2 Baneling attack. What the Mutalisks? Yeah, this is a +2 timing Baneling drop from Reynor. I like it. Mutalisks. I mean, there are no Phoenix, so I don't feel horrendous about it here from Reynor. He knows there's no Phoenix. So he's like, yeah, these mutas are going to totally catch Classic off guard. All right, man. I actually just had a discussion on my Discord server about how viable Mutalisks are for players below, like, the Masters level. It's not great. They die a lot if you're below Masters level. So look at these mutas being like, you carriers don't have any interceptors yet. Shield battery overcharge, ahoy. Got him. All right. Mutas flying, killing 6 probes. Meanwhile, big Ling attack into the attempt of Classic to take a 5th base a little bit early, maybe. Can't really defend it here. 23 probes have died. I haven't seen Reynor's Muta control in some time. It is very good. It is objectively excellent. Look at it. Okay, that's a little bit too much. And now the Phoenix is starting to get popped here, but that's 24 probes killed. Insane. The Hydraling Bane army does wipe out this attempt No, wait. Yeah, wipes out the attempt to expand here to the 12 o'clock. But still 4 bases from Classic, and by that I mean his natural base is a ghost town. There are no workers there at all. He has to flee with his probes away from this 4th base to the 3rd base is under major assault by Banelings and Hydras and all sorts of good Zerg units here. The Phoenix is like, I will kill all of you with my extra speed and bonus versus light here. This is why Mutalisks, you don't make them in lower leagues, because you just make Phoenix as a Protoss and all the Mutalisks die. I was just freeing up supply here. That's Reynor just being like, cool, I was maxed out. Thanks for freeing up that supply by dying, guys. Baneling, oh, good stasis. Good stasis. Purification Nova kills the Banelings, but they still do damage when they explode. So that's like a last-ditch effort to deal with Banelings, is to explode them with Purification Nova, because they're still doing the thing. As they look, this is a try to escape Bane. These guys are not going to try to escape. They're going to try to kill these cannons. Watch. Ooh, that pylon. They went for the pylon. They got both cannons. The pylon survives. I mean, there's a secondary pylon there because Classic is smart. Anyway, Reynor's got a rich Vespene Geyser base here down on the right side, too. His income is pretty healthily on his side of the income advantage tab. So good. Meanwhile, Hydras trying to fight again. There aren't that many carriers here. Hydras, they have a hard limit. If there are 3, 4, maybe 5 carriers, you could do it with Hydras and wipe them out. If there are more than that, it starts getting exponentially more difficult. If there are like 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 carriers, all of your Hydras are just going to die, no matter how you try to kill them. So that's the trick here. That's why there are 11 Corruptors on the way. Classic is doing a pretty good job keeping his carriers alive thus far. He's at 188 supply. It's been a rough road, but he's gotten to the point where I think he wanted to be, which is maybe not to have this happen to him, with a humongous Lingbane Hydra army rolling into his 4th base. The carriers come over. Oh, these 2 warp gates get depowered, and one of them gets exploded too. Nice job by Reynor. So this is going to be Zerg Swarmy for a while here. And then, oh, that stasis did catch Banelings. Not the ones that maybe they were originally supposed to trap, or be trapped, but hey, Banelings anyway. Yeah, Rich Vespene guys are returning more gas per trip here. Very important, very pretty. I like the purple here. So shiny and pretty. Data C is just a dark map. Like, I don't know this. I'm not a map maker, but I assume map makers have the ability to create ambient light sources on their maps. Because Data C was like, nah, we can play in the dark, basically. Just always a little bit grayer and darker. Anyway, that's good positioning for Archons right there. Yeah, Archons where they can't be surrounded, where they have cannons backing them up, shield batteries, support from things like carriers. They will chew those lings up all day. Ultralisk Cavern coming in, 2nd Spire on the way. Adrenal, we're working on chitinous plating. Just all sorts of upgrades here from Reynor at 12 minutes. He's maxed out. He's very, very scary. He's looking terrifying, and that's what Reynor is all about, is looking terrifying. He was WCS champion for the 2020 season. Not a fluke, man. He took down some monsters on the way, including Cyril. So chitinous plating is kind of something you need to make Ultralisks viable. The Corruptors are hunting. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll just caustic spray down these Stargates. Cause a sick play. Meanwhile, this is happening at the 4th base. No, he didn't get it. Okay, these Corruptors had to flee. They didn't get the Stargates. And this base didn't actually die. Classic is hanging on. It's kind of weird to say he's hanging on considering he's maxed out, but he is. He is hanging on right now. Hanging on by a thread. What is this all about? Oh, little zealot warping. Doing all right for itself until the Hydras show up. But yeah, these are charge lots with +1 attack and +1 armor, and that War Prism knows it's not going home, so we'll just sit there and die. It's fine. Ling checking to see, is this base getting replanted? Yes. We have Adrenal. We can kill this. I mean, yeah, but not if there's anything defending it. Zealots still doing more stuff. Ooh, getting the drones on this Rich Vespene Geyser is a big win. All right, and then Ultras with chitinous plating, and the Zealots do not have the upgrades to stand with that. Not even the tiniest bit of close there. But yeah, hit that like button, man. This is a good match. Classic has taken some hits, but Protoss can weather the storm. He's got a ton of Archons and carriers here. So the Archons are to deal with the Corruptors. You can do Void Rays to do it too, but Archons are not a bad idea. They trade pretty well against Ultras as well. That bonus damage versus biological is nice if they have better upgrades. And I guess they do have, again, 2 shield upgrade is pretty nice there. Yeah, and okay, nice abduct on that carrier. Ooh, carrier down. Ultras fighting. Nope, no. Ultras unsupported, bad. Another double abduct here, and just absolutely one-shotting those carriers. Another abduct, one shot. Ugh, that's so annoying as a Protoss when your enemy has enough Corruptors with enough upgrades, +1 attack here, to one-shot a carrier of yours that they abduct. If it takes 2 volleys, it feels a little bit more fair. But when it's just abduct 1 volley, it's like, okay, that Corruptor count's insane. More Zealot harass inside the main base of our guy, Reynor. And, you know, probably going to take down a Queen. Takes down some drones because why not? Okay, all right. So look, he hasn't killed 1,000,000 drones today, but it's been 16. Which, I don't know. Reynor can absorb those losses. Really no problem, right? Yeah, more carriers being produced. The carrier flock would be bigger, except 6 of them have died today. In exchange for 7 Corruptors. That is some really economical trading from Reynor. He's expanded up this right side. Yeah, this game, it really feels like it is just in Reynor's favor here. But we've seen games where one engagement can go really poorly for the Zerg player, and suddenly they don't have the answer for like 15 Archons just kind of walking across the map, right? Suddenly, it's not ideal. So this Disruptor Immortal stuff is to deal with the Ultralisks, any Lings that show up too, maybe some Hydras that might still be on the field, but no, there are none of those left. It is all Corruptor and Ultralisk right now, with some Queen support, and the Vipers obviously too. For Reynor, I don't know if he has the right composition for this. But Classic's going to take his Rich Vespene Geyser base on the left side. Ultras do not trigger stasis wards. But also they're invisible, so you can't kill them unless you have detection. Yeah, Rich Vespene Geyser base gets saturated immediately. Extra spores come up here in case the carriers arrive, and this is Classic moving. This is the first time in a while. Classic, he just backs out. Yeah, all right. Oh, there's Broodlords. Oh, interesting. How many Corruptors does he have left? 17. This might work out okay. One of the things they've talked about is making Broodlords have a faster movement speed, which seems nice for the Broodlords, bad for everything else. I don't know if that's a balanced idea, but I thought it was interesting nevertheless. Also reducing the timer on Broodlings, which is interesting too. So kind of nerfing them, but also buffing them at the same time. Not enough Corruptors to 1 volley down carriers anymore. It's 2. It's a 2 volley, but this right side base that I think is technically on Classic side of the map of Reynor's does get killed. All right. Ultra's rolling into the Rich Vespene Geyser base to wipe that thing out. Classic says, what up, what up? Ooh, and then the recall happens, and the Corruptors are like, can we kill? Nope. Why did these guys not get recalled out? Is there a maximum number of units? I don't know. These Ultras... Oh, the recall saved this base. I'm okay with that. Sure. We already wiped this one out. No reason to stick around. Defend a base of your own and kill a base of your enemies, and that is a major win. This is also a Wardy replay. If you don't know Wardy, he's a guy who does casting for ESL. He has his own YouTube channel and Twitch channel. He sets up his own tournaments that he funds as well, which is awesome. Gets players like Classic and Reynor to play in them, so check him out. That's where I got this replay from. I do support him, and as a result, I can cast his replays every once in a while. It seems like a fair trade, because this is... Man, not having access to this replay would be pretty sad. This is a great ZVP. Alright, so Rich Vespene Geyser base dies anyway. Classic saves it, leaves it, and then bleh. The Broodlords wipe it out. Now, the thing about having Broodlords is you really need to keep them close to home, close to support, because they're very easy for the Protoss to murder if there's nothing supporting them. They are very strong, but it's kind of like a catapult or a trebuchet in medieval warfare, right? You can't just roll up a catapult to the enemy castle. Oh gosh, the splits on these things though. Right, okay, all right, 15 more probes die. I mean, we've just looked at 74 probes dying today. 15 more there. But you can't just roll up a catapult or a trebuchet to an enemy castle and start firing on it if there's nothing supporting it. Because then the enemy rides out with some horses and kills it and then goes back into the castle, right? So that's what broodlords are. They're siege units that must be supported or else they will just die. I think it makes sense. It's a good game design if you do it that way. Oh, he tried to storm these drones and stormed his own war prism and killed it. Oh, I don't know. That spore crawler probably would have wiped it out anyway. Reynor has retaken this base over here at about the 3 o'clock position. Classic dancing around. He's pretty happy to have his 12 o'clock 5th base back up again, but losing the Rich Vespian Geyser base is not cool. Might try to retake it here too. Bottom right base by Reynor has been taken too, but once again, not a ton of saturation down here. See, this is smart, because if you take this base, mine all of the resources out of it, then when it dies, you can just fall back to this one. It's much easier to defend because it's further away from the Protoss forces. Classic taking the top left-hand base a little, no, he's guarding it. I'm going to say a little bit carelessly. Maybe carelessly isn't the right word. Maybe it's just a matter of taking a risk. There are calculated risks you have to take, right? Wait, what the heck made those guys run out? There were 14 drones there. We got Samwise up here. Ah, bit of a zealot unload. Okay. Yeah, reasonable then. And then all of these lings died, and then, yeah, War Prism stuff by Classic's been pretty excellent. And then all those zealots get wiped out, because, again, they don't have the greatest upgrades. They have +1, and they have no armor upgrades, and they have +3 shields, which, again, sure. Shield upgrade, this strategy for the Protoss is great. Abducting the mothership. Time Warp tries to keep her alive. No. Tempa's getting wiggity wiped out, too. Ugh. Storm trying to kill the Broodlings, but that Disruptor gets surrounded and murdered as well. Broodlings chasing. Not really going to do a ton of damage there, obviously. Especially not with cannon and shield battery support in that position. +3 air armor. Flyer Carapace for Reynor is on the way. That's a good upgrade for sure. I don't know about this, man. Classic he can't lose this base. I tell you that much. He's trying to do some zealot stuff in the bottom right, but Reynor's on that too. He's abducting Tempest in, because Tempests are the big-time threat to Broodlords for sure. Stalker's very good, big-time threat to also High Templar. I mean, Carriers, Void Rays. Again, a lot of things are threatened. A big threat to Broodlords. This bottom right base dying would be nice. It's not going to die, but you know. Storm catching. Both players just trying to make good trades at this stage of the game. Ah, yeah. See, cannons with shield battery support and just lings showing up is bad times. That's why he's morphing in some banelings and bringing some ultras on support as well. Empty warp prism, but that's the thing about warp prisms. They're never empty, are they? All right, yeah. Banelings and lings and ultras get into this top left base, wipe it out. The engagement here. This is such good positioning from Reynor, but the Tempests taking out a couple of these Broodlords from the safety of 8 miles away. Pretty classic Tempest stuff here. The Tempest was designed in a lab to kill Broodlords, because Broodlords were such a problem in Wings of Liberty that they created the Tempest with the design intention of being able to murder Broodlords pretty easily, and that's what they do. They're not super great at many other things. I mean, they'll kill battle cruisers pretty effectively. They'll kill enemy carriers if those are being made, but you know, they're intended for air-to-air against big-time bongo stuff. Capital ships. I don't know, man. Classic losing this base. It's just the end of the world for him. He lost top left, and sure, he's going to start wiping out some of Reynor's bases, which is fine. That's a hatch down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This base is going to die too, but Reynor can still fall back to this one. And just losing this one is brutal. All right, another hatch down, though. Remember what I say about if you kill 10 hatcheries against a Zerg player in a macro game, you probably beat him. That's only 3. So, I don't know. This one dying, too. Where is the... That's the thing about Broodlords is they're slow. That's one of the things. You can abuse the immobility of the Broodlord. Although, where are they? Oh, here they are. Jeez. Yeah, talk about being late to the party. It's one of the reasons I think they're talking about making Broodlords faster, is they're just so slow to respond to threat. This is probably a recall situation if I'm Classic. Yeah, just loses a disruptor there. Just a pullback. Just a pullback. He just wiped out. That's 5 hatcheries killed. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 hatcheries killed in like 60 seconds. That is some effective play. Oh, these probes. Why are they here? Probes, run! Get out of there! Okay, they pulled back to the main army. That's nice. I love this 2 Ultralisk, like 10 Baneling army. We're not awesome, but we can do some damage for sure. Reynor expanding left side. I think first time this base has been attempted to be taken. It's the first time anyone's tried to take this base, I'm pretty sure. Revelation getting tossed down. What are we dealing with here? Again, Tempest very good against spores. It's another reason Tempest exists. And giving them Tectonic Destabilizer upgrade available. Bonus damage versus buildings is extra damage against spores. Not that our guy Classic has that. Otherwise, the Tempest projectiles would be orange. But yeah, Lings, Bane. Oh my gosh. These long distance mining probes are having the worst of times right now. Yeah, income for both players is not super hot. It's about even because they're both hurting right now. There's 2 mineral patches down here for Reynor. There's somehow 1 in the natural base of Reynor, which is hilarious. There's actually 1 mineral patch at his 3rd base too. So he's got a little bit going on, and this one getting saturated, yep, is going to be a big deal for him. Classic wiping that base out would go a long way to helping him win this match. Another mothership dead. Great abduct. Great corruptor hits there. They've got +3/+3, man. It's not every day you see +3/+3 on flyer for Zergs. Not all that common. Yeah, I don't know that the Archons have really paid for themselves, but I guess in the sense that they're keeping the corruptors from just diving on top of everything here, they are doing their job. Maybe they're not, you know, getting a ton of kills here, but just in the sense that if it was just carriers and tempests, the corruptors would move right in there, no problem, and everything would die. Tempest continuing to fire up, abducting the oracles. Those need to be replaced. Archons getting abducted and just brutalinged. Very kind of slow death there. Not ideal. Not great. Feedback, feedback, abducting a carrier, one volleying it down. Enough corruptors for that. Yo, the dance. Reynor's up 177 to 157 supply. Classic only has 13 probes, though. So his army value is bigger than you might expect there. 144 to 152, very close. Archons, again, Archons getting any kind of hit on that group of corruptors is good. Good. The Storm weakening them as well. Storm doesn't care what kind of armor upgrades you have. Storm cuts through all that stuff. Here, is this going to be it? Classic pushing in. Reynor defending with his life here, but his Broodlords are taking too many hits. Archons dealing with Broodlings very easily. A beautiful Storm. They're on the Corruptor Ball. No. No way. Has Classic done this? Oh, this base dying would be huge. Classic. Yep. Classic is moving for it. Oh, the Corruptor Ball's like, we can't. On our own, we can't do much. There's a ton of Archons on the ground. Quick, Caustic spray down this one base that exists. No, I don't know. The Archons show up. I think, nope, doesn't have to get out of there. Does cost a couple. He's trying to stutter step with Archons. Cost a couple Corruptors there. Okay, this game is epic. I feel like I haven't had an epic tag in a while, but this is amazing. Reynor's income is nothing. Classic's income, also nothing. Yo! Corruptors flying around to find easy targets, I guess. I mean, Zealot's warping in doesn't really help against those Corruptors, but, you know, no banks. No one has any banks at all right now. There's some Infestors being produced, but I think Classic has pulled this off. Is that too much to say here? Oh, Revelation on these long-distance mining drones. They evacuate the premises immediately. There's no hatch to kill down here. Reynor doesn't have enough money to build another hatch. Classic doesn't have enough money to build another Nexus either. Yeah, this is turning into a problem. A problem for Reynor. And the problem for Reynor is he can't handle these Archons. That's it. I mean, if I'm Classic, I just don't worry about the Corruptors. And I just start wiping out hatcheries, right? So that's another hatchery down for a total of 7. 7 hatcheries killed. All right. Not quite 10, but you know, 7 feels like enough a lot of the time. Here he comes. Reynor says, this is not happening. You're not winning this game. The and Neural Parasite on the Archons. The Immortals do wipe out the Ultralisks. No, there's one Ultra remaining. Great Dark Swarms here. The Ultras are trying to get rid of the Archons, and the Archons are all dead. The Tempest fighting against Corruptors here, and the Tempest do manage to barely hold out there. Everything died except for these Tempests and a couple Ultras that just started running here. Oh my gosh, Classic has enough to build another Nexus, but I don't think he's going to spend any money on it. Another hatchery down, and that's a GG. Classic gets that win. His army at the end is exactly 5 Tempests and an Oracle. But man, Reynor only has 3 Ultras and a Ling. None of that can shoot up. Insane. Insanely good game there. Well done, Classic, getting that win. 8 hatcheries down. Close enough. I'll give that a close enough rating. 54,000 resources lost for Classic, 66,000 lost for Reynor. And like I said, the Zerg player can be ahead against this strategy for most of the game, but 1 or 2 engagements go poorly for him, and the Protoss will come out ahead. The Neural Parasites were sick. Getting those Archons was key. The Archons able to not be attacking the Corruptors as they jumped in there to try to take out those Tempests and Carriers was massive, and he did a great job. I mean, he killed every carrier on the field. 18 carriers died in this game. 18. But at the end of the day, there were still 5 Tempests left and nothing to kill them, and that's it. 2 motherships died. 111 probes went down in Classic 1. I mean, Reynor lost 82 drones too, so that's a big deal. Yeah, 24 Brood Lords went down to boot, 52 Corruptors. Just an absolute bloodbath on both sides of the ball here today. And our guy, Classic, comes out on top. Huge, 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 huge engagements there. Took care of all of it. He won both of the major engagements. There was some picking, right? Both players kind of picking around the edges of the other one. Both players sniping bases. But when it came down to, okay, let's do this now time, Classic won. I think he won both of those. And that final one was massive too. So, I mean, game winning, not just massive. Come on. Awesome. So good. So good. And that right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2, A Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for joining another Patreon game, and you take care of yourself.